Hey guys, I took me a second to get on because one of my kids had to go to the doctor this morning and I was running a few minutes late, so I apologize for that. But this is the live on Instagram Reels. So if you watch this later and you have a question, please comment that it's replay so that I know to come back and answer your question. I'm excited to talk to you guys about this and hopefully help some guys out. When I first started doing Instagram Reels, I literally had a friend who's younger than me. I was like, how do I do this? And she was like, oh, and she showed me. So, hey Courtney. So yes, just because you don't know how doesn't mean that you can't learn how. I'm not the most tech savvy person, but honestly, Instagram Reels have gotten better over time and what they can do and how easy they are. So what I'm going to be doing is going live. So I'm going live on my son's phone so that I can show you my phone so we can walk it through step by step in the app on Instagram to make a reel. There's a couple different ways to do a reel. You can record video with your phone and then add that into your reel. You can record right in the reel, which I never do. I always pre-record my videos. You can also pre-record your videos in your stories and then just save them. So there's lots of ways to go about it. Hi, Heather. So I'm getting everything set up here so you can hopefully see me, and I'm going to try and go live or go on my computer so I can see your comments as well in a timely manner. So I know a lot of people are scared about Reels and don't really see the point of Reels. But honestly, right now, Reels are a very powerful tool for Instagram because they are trying to keep up with TikTok. So somebody asked me about putting your Reels onto TikTok, and you can do that, but you can use the same video and even the same, like completely the same, but you don't want to share from one to the other because they're competing apps. They don't like that. So you don't want to do that. The same with sharing a TikTok onto a Reel or Facebook. They don't like that because they're two competing businesses and they don't like, so they will not like it when you do that. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. I've got myself. Right. Would you help me understand the reasoning for using Reels versus post versus story? So, all right, Terry, the reason that we use Reels is because right now, Facebook, but Instagram, also there's a Christmas tree behind me, so just ignore that. But the reason for using Reels are the platforms like Instagram and Facebook want you to stay on the platform longer. So the longer a consumer is on the platform, the more business for them. So they're really pushing Reels because it keeps people on the platform longer. So I know Reels sometimes are frustrating because we feel like they push out to a bunch of random people and they're maybe not going to our target audience. But that is where your hashtags are super important. Your hashtags are going to matter. The reason your hashtags are going to matter is because hashtags are a guide. They're your guide to making sure that your video is getting in front of the audience that you want to see it. So if you are, like most of us, you're not targeting other bakers, you're targeting people who can buy cookies from you. So your hashtags, you're really going to want to use local hashtags to you, hashtags about your, of your town, your county, you know, like I'm close to St. Louis, so a lot of times I'll do St. Louis foodie or eat STL, and those are hashtags that would push me in front of my more local audience than if I'm targeting bakers, then you would use hashtags more like cottage baker or sugar cookies and things like that. Yes, so many posts on Instagram are reels. Yes, Rose, almost all of them are, because that's what the platform is pushing, and we all know that, like, you just got to keep up with the algorithms. All right, so we're going to jump right in. I'm going to hook the phone up to my stand, and then I'm actually going to give you a view of my phone so that you can see what we're doing. So let me get us switched around here. Got my phone set up on my backer. This is my son's phone, so let's clean the screen off. Oh yeah, better. Okay. So I'm gonna hook this on here so that we have a better view of my phone to work with. All right. Make sure it won't fall. Okay. So, all right, I told my husband not to text me anything crazy while I was showing you my phone. All right, so we're gonna go into my Instagram. So we're in my Instagram. Oh, look at that, Sugar Cookie Marketing replied to me. Okay. All right, so here you are on the main screen. Look at that, Sugar Cookie Marketing is the top of my news feed. Okay, so we're just gonna step through a reel totally from the get-go. So here's the reels, but you go to this square and then you see reel. So you click reel. All right. So now this button here would allow me to, hold on just a second. Gotta do something. All right, hold on just a second, guys. Okay. Sorry, there was something on my son's phone that I needed to get off for you guys. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we are. So I can film this card video. So I can push this button, and that is me filming in Instagram. All right, then I could flip it and be filming right in the reel. You can see this is my Acor and so I'm filming right in the reel on my backer. All right, so then we could take those videos that we have and we can edit them. So this right here, when you're recording, this is your speed. So right now I'm in normal real time, but I could speed it up. Let's record that. So I'm recording this. Let's pull this up a little bit. All right, and then we'll stop. Then we'll preview it. So we'll see. That is me filming in Instagram. Okay, so that's that first video that I put. And then you can go to edit clips. You can see this is the one I sped up. See how it's faster? All right, I'm gonna delete all of these clips. But see, you can add a clip here. You can reorder them. So reorder is like this. So I wanna put the other one first. Then you would tell it you're done. All right, so we're gonna start and we're gonna delete these. So another way that you can film is you can film in your stories, which I'm sure most of you know how to do. You would film in your stories. That's a picture. But I would film in my stories. And then once you're done filming it, go up here to your three dots and you would save that video to your phone. Then you would just close out of here And then when you go in to make your reel, you go, so if you're not going to film right immediately in the app, which I personally don't, I batch all my videos. I've always been afraid if I click something, it's going to load it right away. Yeah, so it doesn't load it right away, so that's good. So, but I always batch videos. So if I'm decorating, if I'm packaging, whatever I'm doing, I take a ton of video and then I go back later and make them into different reels. So we were out of town the last 2 weekends and we started the Reels Challenge and the Cookie College, but I had so much video saved up from batching it that I literally made a reel every day of July without taking new video. So to build a reel with video you already took, you come into the main reel screen and you're going to hit this down here. Now this pulls up my video screen or my camera roll. So here I have some drafts that I've saved. We'll look at that later. But say we're going to put a reel together. The first reel we're going to put together, we'll take that video I took. So we'll pick that. So I'll pick it if I want to use it, and then I'll hit add. Now if I want to add another video, I'll click here. And I have some video down here of these cookies. So we'll pick that. So drafts is where you will make your video. You can like edit your reel all the way together and then save it as a draft and not post it. So I'll show you that. Okay, so here I have video. See the little 1X over here? I'm going to click that 1X and I can speed this up or slow it down. So the 0.3 and the 0.5 are gonna slow it down. So this slows it, see how, and it told me I'd hit my limit because slowing it down made it way too long of a video clip. But let's speed it up instead. Let's do 2 times. So see, that sped up my video. Let's see what 4 times does. You see how it speeds up the video? So let's put this back to like 2 times. A lot of times I do stuff a little bit sped up, but not crazy sped up because Instagram likes, well, let's not say Instagram. People like shorter videos because we don't have much of an attention span. So I've sped up this video like I want, and then I hit add. All right, so now usually what I do is I go to preview, and that's going to show me what my video looks like with the way it is right now. So we'll go and we'll preview it. So this one has sound, and then it goes into that video. So from here, we're going to hit audio. You see the camera audio? If you want to leave it over, almost always you want to take it down. So you take out your camera audio, and that's where you would add your music. You can add voiceovers, and you can add sound effects. Now the sound effects, it plays, and then you add it. And then you can edit it out, remove all. With the sound effects, it adds it where you tell it to in the video. So watch, we're gonna pick doorbell. It's gonna play at that, see how there's the line telling you where it's gonna play at in your video. All right, so we'll tell it we're done. So then you can add your music. All right, so do you see how the, all right, so I removed the doorbell. So now this is the volume. So sometimes if I'm doing a voiceover, I want music in the background of my voiceover, but you don't want it to be the loudest thing. So this, so you don't like that song, you can trash it right here. And then we can go to music and pick something else. So for this, Okay, so here you have saved or imported music. So when you're scrolling Instagram and you hear a sound that you like, you can save it. And when you save them, this is where they go. So here's all my saved sounds that I'm like, oh, I want to use that in a video. So there's this one.
Is this my new favorite thing that I've ever made?
And that's it. So you can pick that one or you can cancel it. So import is where you would bring in music. Import audio from any video. Videos must be at least 5 seconds long. I don't really mess with that just because I don't typically have anything I want to import. But let's go back to my saved and see what I've got. So like I've saved this one because I really liked it. And then I would tell it done. All right, let's go back. So if you go back, it's going to take you back to add another clip. Reels are really good about, like, the chances of you completely posting it without the right steps is very slim. I will say I did it the other day, but it was because I didn't have cell service, and then all of a sudden I did, and it just went wonky. But most likely, the chances are you're not going to do that. So I'm back at this screen, and if I decided, oh, I needed to add another video clip, I could do that. Or I could add a still. A lot of times I'll add a still at the end. When you add a still at the end, it's going to give it an amount of time. You can adjust that. And that's another thing I need to teach you is about editing, the length of your video. So can you see that number going down? That's how long it's up. So I've got it at 0.89. Oh, see, look, it's doing 0.8 seconds of it. And then like a second. So we'll add that, and then we'll preview it again. See? All right. So let's go back. And then if I wanted to change the audio, which I do, I would come right here, hit the trash can, and then I would come back to and pick a different one. So let's go look at this is where you search. Like, I want to use calming music. So we'll do this. And piano piece, we'll pick that. Okay, this is a good, like, if you're going to do a voiceover. So it's just a very calming song. So then we're going to go to my preview. And I'm going to go up here to my music notes again. And I'm going to bring that volume down so it barely is playing in the background of my reel. All right. No, so you do not give credit for copyrighted music, because if you can use it, that means Instagram is basically taking care of the music rights. So you don't have to worry about it. They've already done it. But I will tell you that every once in a while there'll be like a glitch. Oh, there's my cute family. There'll be a glitch, and it will say some people can't watch your reel. But honestly, usually when that happens, it's never anywhere in the US. It's usually random countries that you really probably don't plan to get cookie business from anyways. All right, so I pulled my music level down, and then I'm going to add a voiceover. So with the voiceover, if I want to, I can play the video, and then I hit recording. Watercolor is my favorite cookie form. And then we'll see what it does. Okay, so see how my voiceover is really high? Watercolor is my favorite cookie form. And then my voiceover is louder, but then I could pull my voiceover down. Watercolor is my favorite cookie form. See how it's quieter? All right, so here we are. All right, so you can edit clips.
Watercolor is my favorite cookie form.
I'm going to turn the volume down for a second. All right, when you're editing clips, you can click on it and say, I'm like, okay, this one's way too long, so I can shorten it. And then if you're done, you just click and then see how it shortened it. And then see these little numbers here are showing you how long each clip is. So like my last picture clip is 1.4 seconds. I'm going to make it even shorter. If you're doing stills, you don't want to leave them up there forever. Sometimes it will automatically leave it up for like 5, 6, 7 minutes or seconds. And honestly, people are going to lose interest and they'll move on. Okay, so there again, I showed you you could reorder them. Like I could put the still picture at the beginning, and then let's go see what, see if I go to next, this is where we don't want to do that yet. This is where you're posting it. So really, and that's where you share it. So really, it's really hard to post it too early. You just go back. All right, so then when I mess something up or move something around, then I go all the way back to here, to this screen, and I hit preview again so I can rewatch it.
Watercolor is my favorite cookie form.
And that's your whole reel. All right, so then we want to talk about
My favorite cookie form.
adding, I'm going to take all my, I don't want my voiceover, so I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to pull my sound down because a lot of times when you're working on it, it literally plays a song 100 times and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to hear that song again. So let's talk about adding text. Is it best to have more than one video clip in a reel? When would you do this? If you more than one video or photo together, can you have the music as it goes seamlessly across everything you put together? Yes, so being able to edit your clip length, Terry, is like perfect. Is it best to have more than one video clip in a reel? The best thing about reels is to keep your audience. So the whole point is like keeping it quick, short, get to the point. So it's not necessarily wrong to not have more than one video clip, but it can't just drag on, if that makes sense. So a lot of times, like, as long as the video is holding interest, you're okay. All right, so let's talk about adding text bubbles. So you go to the alphabet up here, which some of this is thankfully pretty self-explanatory, but you go to the alphabet and then we're gonna type something. Check this out. All right, now it's just like your stories as far as you can change the font, you can change the coloring, you can do all those things just like you would with stories. You can change the alignment. So, and if you want to change it, you just click on it. This adjusts the size of it. Now you do have to watch because the sometimes you'll put your lettering and then when you actually post the reel, it doesn't show up in the screen. So there's actually like, sometimes they'll pop up, but there's like 2 yellow lines on the side where it's not actually going to show. So if your lettering is bigger, you want to make sure you keep it in the middle. Okay, so this one took me a long time to figure out, and somebody finally helped me. Getting your video, which, that's really annoying that it's doing that. All right, let's make it solid. Getting your... When you save music you like, are you saving it from other reels? Yes, and I'll show you how you save it in just a minute. But so we've got this wording, we tell it done, but I don't want it to be on the entire video. So what you do is you click on it down here, and then these lines adjust where on the video, can you guys see? That adjusts where, you can see the video playing down there. This adjusts where your lettering is going to go. So then I'll tell it done. All right, so now go back. I always go back and preview it, honestly, many, many times before I post anything. So I hit my preview. So here's my reel. So let's go back with the sound up. Okay, here's my reel. And see how the lettering was only on the part with the green? One trick is, when I made a reel, I did a reel with a few videos of my cookies floating away on water, but kept each video super short. I feel like the movement kept attention. Yes. One thing that you can't do is you cannot go back and change any typing errors, so make sure you have it right. I have a reel that has, where thousands of people think I don't know how to spell. Actually, I have two like that, but I promise you I do. But what I was going to say is, when you do something like this and you have your reel lined up and you're going to put a lot of text. So I made a reel for Mother's Day, and I started each different saying with "for the mother, for the mother, for the mother." Well, then when you have more than one down here, it's really hard to edit because you don't know what's what. So what I would do is, so say I was going to say check this out, check the color. I'm going to show you. All right, so we have more than one. We're just making things up, but see how they both down here, if they're long especially, like they will just say the same thing. So if you have more than one, it's not automatically going to adjust where it goes. You have to adjust it yourself. So now look at my reel. It's going to say nothing, check this out, and then check the color. But what I was going to say is, if you're doing one that where they start with the same letter, this is a trick just for you when you're editing, is to go in to get the placement right and label it as 2 and label it as 1. So then once you have them laid out where you want them, right before you edit the reel completely and post it, you would need to go back and remove, like once I have it, okay, where I want it. I want it to come over this way a little bit, and I want it to stop sooner. You would want to come in and remove that one off of there after you have it placed. Hopefully that's not too confusing. All right. What is it doing? It's like freezing on me. Ah. Ooh, why is it doing that? Okay, let's try again. All right, see how that removed it? But then we're gonna go to this one. When it pops back up on your screen is when you click on it, and then you can edit it. All right. So now, once again, I will go back before I'm ready to post, turn my volume up, and hit preview. All right. Now, I don't want this check the color because that to me is weird, so I'll just delete it. All right. Also, all right, so I'm here. I can go back still and edit my clips. I want to just remove this one completely. Discard clip. Now I'm done. So I've got the leaves, check this out. Oh, but now see, it put my check this out on the cookies. I don't want it on the cookies, so I'll click on it and I will readjust where it lands. All right. Wait, can we redo the text part again? Okay, what do you need to renote? What do you want me to redo on text? And I'll try and show you again. There again, I'm going to turn the volume down because it gets really repetitive. All right, so once you get to this point in your reel, you've got everything lined out the way you want it. This is where you edit your cover. So right now, this is what they're going to see on my main screen. To edit the cover, you click edit the cover. You can either pick a portion from the video, Like, I think he's cute. He's my favorite cookie ever, so I'd put it on there. Or you can add from your camera roll. And hopefully my camera roll doesn't have too much craziness in it. So I want to pick this picture from my camera roll. Did it do it? Do. It didn't do it. All right, add from camera roll. There it goes. Okay, see? Now isn't that a beautiful picture to start off with? All right, so I would tell it done. So now when my reel is on the Instagram feed, that's what it's going to show as the cover. All right, how to add, edit where we want the text to be at. Okay, I'll go back and show you in just a second. So from here, this is where you write your caption. I personally like to use a hook in my caption because when people see it, hopefully it makes them look. I used to manage a website, a recipe website, and basically the whole concept of that job was I cultivated websites to the point that they had a large enough social media following that they gained revenue through the ads that played on the site. So the whole point was growing it. So everything I did had to have like a hook to get people to click through it. Oops. And that's changed a little bit now because social media is always evolving. But the concept of having a hook to get people to actually click on your video doesn't change. Like, you have to make people curious so that they watch it. So I wouldn't just capture this watercolor bears or another baby shower set. Like, I would pick something that was a little more catching. Most of my videos are geared to other bakers, so I usually pick taglines like "save this tip" or "you won't believe how helpful this is," things like that. So this is where you write your caption. This is where you add your hashtags. Now, don't hold me to it, but from what I have personally have found, when you're putting a typical picture post on Instagram, you are okay to post your picture and then put your hashtags in the comments. With Reels, that doesn't seem to work as well. It doesn't seem to be as successful. So you want to add your hashtags into this section right here where you write the caption. Another thing is, usually like I'll put a tagline, watch this, and then I'll skip down and I'll write a longer description, a longer caption. So especially for me on some of my other reels, like it'll say hold to read the caption, because if somebody's holding your reel and watching the caption, it's literally counting as views. Like, so it keeps them on the platform longer, on your reel longer. So I would type out something about a tip I did with these cookies. And then that's where you add your hashtags. Sugar baby love, what? Like sugar cookies, sugar cookie, if I could type. And how you type is important when you do hashtag sugar cookie marketing. So like if you would want to put local ones here. Like I would put Warrenton, Missouri, which is where I live. I always hashtag my stuff with my business name, Cookies Take the Cake, so that if you clicked on this, if they click on that, it's going to pull up like all my stuff. So that's why I do that. I would do STL Eats, small business, STL Bakes, STL. STL has 5.1 million posts, so that would be one that would help a reel have the potential to go to a larger audience. All right. If the music has lyrics, is there a way where you can edit it out and just have the music? No, you can't do that. You have to use what they have. Like there's not a way to edit their music. My business account doesn't allow me to search for any music. Yes, so you don't want to have a business profile. You're going to have but you can't take out the words and just have the music, like audio. You can't adjust the audio. So I also have issues with the editing process freezing on photos and not switching to the next frame. It's so frustrating, and I feel like giving up on Reels. That might be an issue with your phone being overloaded, that it's glitching on you because it's more of your phone not being able to keep up. So no, you're not going to want a business account. You're going to want to have a creator account. Creator/entrepreneur account. That's going to give you the music, but it also still gives you all of the insights and things that you have with a business Instagram. So you don't really lose anything. You really just gain music. Amy, that's what I would do on that. Okay, so here's my reel. Check this out. So beautiful. I'm in love. Baby cookies. Add our caption. All right, so then we'll go down to here. Share to reels. Always share to feed. I always share mine on my feed. There's some people who don't because they are worried about their profile grid being beautiful. I'm not. I'm worried about eyes seeing it. So I always share it to my feed. This is where you would tag people. Sometimes I tag a cutter shop. Like almost all these cookies were Kaleido-Cuts except the one bear. So I would tag them. This is where you would invite a collaborator. I wouldn't do that unless you like really knew them and we're actually doing that. But this is where you would tag people. So let's tag. So we could tag Sugar Cookie Marketing in this reel. And then I would tell it done, which we're not really going to post this reel. Add location. I always add a location. Warrenton, Missouri is where I live, so I could pick that. A lot of times I do St. Louis because it's close. It's the biggest city close to me. Recommend on Facebook, allow. I always leave that on. So some of my reels have switched over to Facebook and they have views and likes on Facebook. So I don't see any harm in that, so I just leave it on. All right, so we were talking about earlier, I mentioned drafts. So this is where I could share this reel or I can hit save draft. All right, so I just saved the draft. So now, so I can go in, and I did this when I was going to be out of town. I went in and I edited my reels and put them all together. And then the day I wanted to post them, if I were to have a business account, can I change it? Yes. So you just go into your, Terry, you would just go into your settings, and yes, you can just switch it over from business to creator account. It's super easy to do, and it's really helpful. All right, so I batched my reels. I've edited my reels ahead of time, but I haven't posted them yet. So then I would go here and my drafts. Okay, so see, there's the reel we made. It's 6 seconds long. It's right there ready to go. Here's another reel I made the other day that my son is embarrassed about. Here's another one that I have saved. So you used to, when you would have a draft, it wouldn't let you do anything but share it from there. Like you couldn't adjust it. But now you can go back and edit it. So this is a reel I actually have already posted. So I can check it, make sure I don't need to change anything. Then I can edit the cover photo if I wanted. And here we'll pick a different part. Here's the perfect baker's hamper to stamping. Then I'll tell it that's going to show, or you can go into profile grid. It's going to show you what it's going to look like on your grid. So see how I'm adjusting it, because that would be weird on my grid. The writing makes more sense. I'll tell it done. And then I could add my caption and share it. All right. How many hashtags is too much? So here's the thing. I can teach you how to do reels. I'm not going to say I'm an expert on Instagram overall. I do a lot of hashtags because to me the more is, I think the limit is 30, but I don't think you get penalized for using up to the limit, if that makes sense. So I just, the biggest thing with hashtags are your map. They're your tools. They're going to get you to where you need to go. So you really want to make sure that you're niching in and targeting your audience, who you want to reach with your hashtags. So, like I said, for a local bakery, you're going to want to use, eats. Well, first of all, you want to go search your demographics, your area, and see what's trending, what people are using. I'm in a really rural area, so a lot of mine don't have any activity. So I push out a little bit more. So I live in Warren County, and there's like a couple farm posts. But if I switch over to St. Charles County, which is the county over from me and like 15 minutes from my house, there's a lot more active hashtags. So I use more active hashtags that way. In this area, there's what's called Innsbruck, which is it's basically a gated resort community. So I attached to hashtag my stuff Innsbruck, Missouri. And I have some chalets and places like that who follow me because of that. So it's putting me between more of my target customers, people who, would be spending money on cookies. So let's go back. Let's go all the way back to your main Instagram. Okay, so here's your main Instagram. Saving music from Reels. So let's go over here. So this is my most viewed to date reel. So we're gonna click on that one. All right, so I like this audio and I want to save it. Turn it down so you can hear me. See this little square down here? That little square is how you save audio. So you click on the square and it's gonna say use audio, which I don't want to necessarily use it right now. So I'll hit save audio. So then when I go back to my reels, and when I go to make a reel, and my audio saved, look, there it is, it's right there. So I can use it. One thing that I didn't talk about that's newer to Instagram. So the newest things that I've noticed in Instagram is one, being able to adjust your time, which is a huge deal because before you would always have to speed up your videos in an outside app, and sometimes they didn't want to format correctly when you moved them over. Like iMovie does not format to Instagram correctly in my experience, and it's a mess. Let's see, what am I missing down here? Let's see. I'm not sure which Instagram account. If you save a lot of reels and post them later, how do you know which ones have already been posted? You just really have to keep track of it somehow. Even like sometimes I have a notes. So I manage the Instagram for myself, and then I manage Instagram social media across the board for somebody else. And I keep notes in my phones of like what I have already posted and what I haven't, just in my notes. How do you find out what's trending in your area? Okay. When I go into this, hold on. I'm missing a comment. Jennifer, I'm not sure which IG account I have. When I go to setting, it says switch to professional account. Do I have the right IG account for my business, or do I switch to professional account? So when you, Jennifer, do you currently have insights on your account, or do you already have a personal? Like if you just have a personal account, then yeah, you're going to want to switch to a professional. And then from there, you can pick creator business. How do you find the trending hashtags for your area? Okay, let's go back here. And look, Rose, it's your cookies. All right, so we're gonna search hashtags. So I'm in Warrenton, Missouri. All right, so see, look, Warrenton, Missouri only has 1,000 posts. And then Photo Studios is 100. See all results. So these are the top. Oh, look, it's me. Sweet. I'm the top. That's awesome. Tags. So you can see like how this shows you like what they have. Warrenton, Missouri photographer only has 29 posts. So that's obviously not very active. Places, you go over here and you look, no results found for Warrenton, Missouri, but you would want to take the hashtag out for that one. All right, so places, when it comes over Warrenton, Missouri, Warrenton, Virginia. So for me, I have to really be careful because Warrenton, Virginia has tons of activity because it's huge. Warrenton, Missouri doesn't really. And so then this shows you the top people who have checked in here. We just had graduation, so there's a bunch of those. Recent. Okay, so here's the recent people who have tagged into where I live. And let's see how old. That one's 20 hours ago. That's 10 hours ago. Yeah, we just had the fair, so all these are fair posts. 14 hours ago. So that gives you an idea of like how active the hashtag is, if that, or the place is. So if like for me, okay, Warrenton. But if I go to Wentzville, which is literally right up the road from me, Wentzville, Missouri, and then look at that. It's most likely going to be a lot. Yeah, see, these are like 1 hour ago, like all these. I don't know who that is. So they are much more active, if that makes sense. All right. Yeah, so you're going to want to go to professional account and then go to a creator account. How do you save ones that don't give you the save audio option at the bottom? Like it only lets you play it. I haven't come across any of those in a reel. So let's look. I don't know of any that don't have the thing. Well, those are all mine, so let's not go there. But let's go to Sugar Cookie Marketing. All right, let's look at her reels and see if any of these have audio. Nope. Oh, the audio's there. Audio. So where are you finding audio that won't let you save it? When you're watching a reel? Oops, let's see in here. Christine. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show you. Unless somebody has any more questions, I can answer those for you. Not sure how long we've been live, almost an hour. Otherwise, we will call it a day. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to tell you about reels. Keeping them short, keeping them interesting, keeping your taglines interesting. Now, Corrie and Heather just said that TikTok has switched over to SEO, which means you can search certain keywords in TikTok videos. So over there, you're going to want to start adding in like descriptions in your title, because then people can search it. So far on Instagram, it's mainly just hashtags that are your search engine, basically, for, which is what SEO is, for Instagram. So we were talking about trending music. In TikTok, it's way easier to find trending music. With Instagram, you have a better chance of following accounts that let you know where the trending music is. It's so like on TikTok, they're going to suggest trending audio. Instagram doesn't do that. So it is a little bit trickier to find trending audios. But one way to find them is when you go to this, see, trend alert, they're saying this is the trend. So if I wanted to save that, I would save the audio. And then so you look and it's saying this is a trending audio. So when I look at this audio, I can see that, yeah, the majority of these videos do have a lot of views. So I would say, yeah, that is a trending audio.
Stop scrolling. Hang on 1 second. And look at this thing I missed. Stop scrolling.
So like that one's a good one. So I'll save that one. All right. So you just basically go through. This says it's an early trend alert.
Whatever's meant to be.
Their transitions are a little off, but that's really the best way to find audio, is you just have to kind of scroll through and pick things you like. So I think I answered everybody's questions pretty much. Let me look real fast at this. If you guys ever need help or whatever, also you can totally reach out to me in the groups or my Instagram, which is Cookies Take the Cake. That's also a place to reach me. As Heather knows, I'm usually really quick to answer. It's kind of my downfall. I did want to look, because I know earlier in the event some people had asked me some questions, and I want to make sure that I answered those questions. Let's see here. Sugar Cookie Marketing, events, my own event. Let's see. Hey, it's mine. Make sure I answered your questions. Okay. So one trick that I did want to tell you, all right, Melissa asked, does Instagram want Reels made in-house or is using InShot okay? I think the key with that is, as long as whatever source you're using isn't putting their branding logo on the videos, then you're good. If it's showing up that, I don't think it really likes that. Does adding text on top of Reels a benefit? One thing to think about with when you're adding text bubbles and stuff is, and a lot of this, I'm literally just repeating what I've heard very successful Instagram video creators say. So don't think I'm a genius, I just repeat. But people can't read and listen at the same time, so you want to be mindful of that. And so either, like, if you're going to do that, maybe lower your audio and have it not be like don't confuse them by having them trying to listen to your audio and read at the same time, if that makes sense. So they do have templates now, and it's okay to use the templates, but I wouldn't use them all the time because of that. And translating Reels over to TikTok, you never, like I said earlier, you never want to try and cross over unless there's no, like, which I just noticed. So you used to be able to save a reel that you created in Instagram. Once it was done completely, you could save it to your camera roll and it would just save it without the audio. But now it saves the audio, but it puts the Instagram logo on it. So you can't transfer that over to your TikTok. Now, if you wanted to make a reel and you would want to save, so like say this one we made today, let's see, I'm gonna edit. I would save it now, right there. You can still save your video, but the audio will be rude. Yes, so I can save it. It's gonna have my lettering, it's gonna have everything that I've edited, but it's not gonna have audio. So then I could then take that video that I made, and I should be able to go to my camera roll and let me find it. It's right there, but it doesn't have audio, but the whole thing's there. So then I could upload that to my TikTok, add my audio, and so it just saves you a step. but you have to do that before you publish it. You can't do it after you publish. You used to be able to, but now you can't, if that makes sense. So I think that's pretty much everything, and I think I've answered quick. I have seen video reels with a business logo or watermark on the reel. Any info on that? So that is something that they're creating in an outside app and then just uploading it to Reels. So that's not created in Reels. They're doing that most likely with a paid app. I'm a freebie girl. I don't pay for anything right now. It's just not in my business budget, but that is most likely how that is done, is with the outside, to have the actual logo. Now you could totally, just do, so you could totally, put your name, cookies take the cake. You could totally put that at the bottom of your video for the duration of your video, but it's not going to be your actual logo. How long should a reel be? Shortest, longest. So the maximum length that they'll let you do is 30 seconds, but ideally, in my opinion, keeping it under 15 is better, simply because people don't have long attention spans and they get bored and they scroll on by. They're not going to give you a like if they're scrolling by. So sometimes, depending on what it is, mine are a little bit longer, but I try not to make them too long, because think about it, if you're getting bored watching the same thing, they're going to be bored watching the same thing, which is also a lot of times why you speed them up. So reels that have done really well for me, let's get out of here, have been shorter. And also, please don't get discouraged if you do a reel and it flops compared to the one before, because it's the algorithms. It's not you. It's nothing you did. Facebook is wonky, and even the most successful people will have a reel that goes viral and then a couple that just don't. Like this one. So this one did really well for me, but the speed changes. So, you get bored if you're watching something in real time. So that's why most of the time you speed things up. Okay, let me show you this. So, and Corrie taught me this. And honestly, when she told me, she was like, some people say, she wasn't even sure if it worked, but for me, it has worked. Okay, so we're doing a Reels challenge in the Cookie College. So we're posting a reel every day. So this was my reel on Sunday, and it did really well. This was my reel on Monday. It did not do well. It only had 100 views in 4 hours. So what I did was I removed it from my profile grid. I did not delete it. Do not delete reels. Do not. I don't care how much you hate it. Don't delete it. Just hide it from your profile grid, because Instagram will kill your engagement if you delete it. I did that once and it took me a long time to build back up. So don't do that. But so I deleted it from my profile grid. I hid it from my profile grid. And then I reposted the exact same reel. All right, so watch. Here's this reel. It didn't do very well. It actually picked up the views that it has now after I posted the new one. But this is the exact same reel. And I did it in the exact same day, but I did it at a better time for me. I posted this one in the middle of the day, which is horrible timing for me. I do better usually in the evening. But I reposted the same video, changed the front a little bit, changed the song. But it's the exact same tip. It's the exact same reel, tip, whatever. But if you can see, the views difference are crazy. And like I said, this one was still under, I think it had 140 views when I hid it from my grid and reposted it. And this one climbed a little bit. And that's another thing. Reels sometimes take off weeks later. They may not do much that day, that week, even that month, and then one will like uptick later. One thing that somebody asked me about was lighting. So I use natural light in all of my reels except this one. And this one, because it was my face, my phone, and I got this from an Instagram video person that I follow. But my phone is sitting in my refrigerator. So this lighting is my refrigerator light. So that's something to look into if you need to do a reel of your face, which I should have turned off my overhead light, but that's that. And I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you watch the replay. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And let's see if I can get the phone unhooked.